copyright notices. If you wish to read, pause the video. The original videos are linked in the description down below. Enjoy. Alright then, so in this one what you're going to see is two auditors in a shopping centre. They get asked to leave, they do eventually leave, and then the security starts making a show of themselves outside of the shopping centre for no reason. The auditors have done what you've asked them to do. That should have been the end of the interaction really, but it isn't. One of them starts acting a fool, playing a victim to try and get sympathy off bystanders, but you'll see that. Let's just get straight into it.
You alright, gentlemen?
You got, mate?
Can I ask you a license to record or anything like that?
Don't need a license.
The building might be owned by council, but it's rented out to the company that owns the centre. Thus, you do not have permission as you are in technically private property.
I'm a council payer, so I'm allowed to be in here.
You're allowed to be in here, but you're not allowed to record without permission.
What's that do?
I haven't seen it.
This is owned by Chatham Council.
No, unfortunately not. The building is, but it is rented out to a private company.
It's still owned by the council. They may
But
rent
it's
it out. Everything is rented.
so technically I could go in your house by your logic and record because...
No.
What's the difference?
This place, right, it's like any shopping centre, any shops outside, they build it here, they rent it out. The council own this and they rent it out. Everybody rents it.
Like council.
Okay then, so we go over this one quite often as well. So it's the Criminal Justice Act of 1972, Section 33, which is an extension of the Public Order Act of 1936, which for this implication is a definition of a public place. What is a public place? Public place includes any highway, any other premises or place to which at a material time the public have or are permitted to have access, whether on payment or otherwise. So this place technically by law is a public place, but just because it's a public place doesn't mean you can do what you want. Well, in a way you can, but it's a privately owned public place, as the council do rent it out to a private company, which means it is a privately owned public place. They can remove your implied rights of access. And if they remove your implied rights of access, they can then use reasonable force to remove you off of that property. If they have rules in place on that property, they can enforce them rules. Just because the council owns that building doesn't mean you can do whatever you like, unfortunately. So in this situation, I am with the security. It's just best to do as they ask, as you are technically on private property.
Owns every other property. Like a council owns every property in a Medway cities. Thus, by your logic...
But they own this. That I do that. So, right? I'm allowed to be in it because I'm a council payer.
We've got three now.
Oh, three of them, mate.
You don't need three security officers.
I'm a supervisor, darling.
Oh, right, okay. Okay. I understand, that's all right, that's all right.
This place is owned by the council.
So we've got supervisor, security.
You don't have the right to record inside this, sir. There are signs on the doors as you come in. And what do you mean it doesn't mean a thing?
Well, because this is owned by the council, yes?
It does mean a thing, sir. We can escort you from the premises if need be. Can you get on your radio and ask them?
Unfortunately, it does mean something. Just like most signs carry out rules like no riding bikes inside of the building, no scooters, no skateboards, no whatever. What are they, Heeley skates or whatever they are? So certain rules they would. I don't know if these would agree with me on this. They would like to be enforced. They would agree should be enforced, but other rules are probably not. So you can't pick and choose. You either agree with them all or you don't agree with any. In my eyes, this is, like I already explained, this is technically a private company which rents the place. So technically it's their property because they have a lease to rent it. So they can remove whoever's implied rights of access they please. Just because the council owns the building, they don't own. They do not say who can and cannot be in that building. It's down to the people what are renting the building or leasing the building. It's down to them to say who can and cannot be in their building.
I'll stand here all day.
Put your hand in my face, you know what that is, don't you? It's a common assault. Please don't do it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, you're not.
Don't
No,
do
it's
it,
not.
please.
Put stand in his
Don't
face.
frighten me, so don't do that
You
to
don't
frighten
frighten
me, because you ain't going
Don't
to.
frighten me.
Get
I'm not an
the
aggressive
gentleman to
person.
do that to me instead of you, and then maybe we can come
I
up
beg
with
your
some.
pardon?
You heard?
I didn't hear you.
Ask the
actually.
gentleman to do that, and then
Yeah.
see what happens.
Why? What are you doing? Threatening
Well,
to...
no, I'm going to walk back, and if he comes to me, I might have to use force.
Are you going to threaten to use force? Would you?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
If he pushed me in the front, because you really did on my camera.
Pushed you.
No, on my camera.
Who
If I didn't have my camera,
Uh-huh.
you would have got my face, or could have
Who?
got my face.
Who?
Yourself.
I don't think so, so I'm well away from you.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm putting my hand up so you don't video me, all right?
Okay then, so let's cover common assault. Common assault is where a person... To commit common assault, you don't actually have to cause physical damage or make contact with a person. Common assault can be a reasonable person having fear that they are going to have unlawful violence committed against them. That could be deemed as common assault, and the CPS will agree with that. The CPS have put a memo out talking about that. If I can find it, I will link it in the description. But there is a memo. Well, they tell you exactly what it's under. So, common assault is Section 39 of the Criminal Justice Act of 1988. So, if you want to know, that's what it is, and it does tell you there. Common assault doesn't have to be a physical act within itself. It just has to cause a reasonable person to fear unlawful violence against them.
I'll stand here all day. I'd rather you didn't put that in my face, sir.
No, don't
Please.
come, stay away,
Don't-
stay
don't-
away,
don't-
stay away.
Put your hand in my face.
Stay.
Don't put your camera up in my face. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, you're not. No,
I've
it's
got
not.
this one.
Put stand in his face.
frighten me, so don't do that
Don't
frighten me. You ain't going
Don't frighten me.
Get
I'm not an
the
aggressive
gentleman
person.
to do that to me instead of you, and then maybe we can come
I
up
beg
with
your
something.
pardon.
I'm not
You
going
can't
to get an
be video-
argument
you
about
can't- No,
that,
you
so
can't be
yeah.
videoing people. Some people... No, you can't, sir. No, you can't, sir. Not in here. Not in here. I don't know why you want to do it anyway. You've not even explained yourselves why you want to be recording.
Because we're tourists. I've never been here before, so...
This is owned by the county. Yes? They bought it for 38 million.
You know more than me, South, then.
Well, I've got the piece of...
So if you...
Okay, well done.
Well, so that means it belongs to the general public.
The rules of the door, sir. There's no recording. You don't care about the rules.
No, because
Yeah, well, you don't like it, do
There's
they?
no reasoning with you.
I'm not going to get in conversation this one, mate. I'm going to oversee.
So I'm going to have to skip a bit of this because of the music and copyright and all that sort of stuff. But nothing really interesting happens. They end up leaving because they'll call the police, which they should have just left anyways. For them to use reasonable force to remove somebody, they have to ask you to leave and give you a reasonable time for you to do that. If you fail to do so, then they can use reasonable force to remove you from the property. In this case, do I think that was common assault? After seeing the second angle on Alfie Audits, no, I don't. She didn't get close enough, but it could have been deemed quite threatening. Well, technically, yeah, it could be common assault. She's gone up to somebody and raised her hands up towards somebody's face. That, within itself, could be classed as common assault, unfortunately. So, maybe she should learn her laws. She's saying she's not an aggressive person. Approaching somebody with quite an aggressive body language and then moving your hands fast towards somebody's face is classed as an aggressive movement and common assault, unfortunately.
I will, thank you. I'm telling you now, sir. Get it out of my face. I've just had a death in my family. Don't record me. Out of respect for me, do not record me. Respect me. I've just had a family member die. Take it out of my face. Huh? Take it out of my face.
Oh, I'm not in your face. You're over there.
I thought you had the blue light, blue badge for a reason.
Pardon?
Yes, you were.
My face.
Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. Wait. Threat levels. You're the threat level, mate. You're the threat level.
As I've got someone poking a camera in your face.
Poking the camera in your face. You'll know when it's in your face, mate. Because I'll come up.
Put that in my face and you'll know different.
Well, I don't want to.
Okay then, so what you've just seen here is this so-called security guard commit a public order offence. So it's a Public Orders Act of 1986, Chapter 64. And if we go down to subsection 2, violent disorders, which clearly states where 3 or more persons who are present together use threatening, unlawful violence and the conduct of them taken together is such as would cause a person of reasonable firmness present at the scene to fear for his personal safety. Each of these persons using or threatening unlawful violence is guilty of violent disorder. So you heard her. She threatened to use violence, as you heard in there. So she has committed a Section 2 of the Public Orders Act of 1986, Chapter 64, which clearly states there was 3 of them, because there was 3 security guards taken together. And there was threatening to use violence. Now, a person of reasonable firmness was present there, and the fact that she could also be inciting violence as well towards people, because she was trying to get the crowd to back her up, saying, "Oh, I've just lost a family member," blah 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 blah. It doesn't mean you should be doing that. It could be a affray. She could get done for affray. A person is guilty of an affray if he uses threatening unlawful violence towards another, and his conduct is such as would cause a person of reasonable firmness present at the scene to fear for his personal safety. So she was threatening to use unlawful violence towards these people, so it could be a affray. The charges like this can just rack up and rack up and rack up. That's why you have to be careful what you're doing, people.
It's when you came up to us.
Not to record me, because I've just had a family member die and I still have to come.
Yeah, I've had 2 family deaths in 2 years. And what? Get over it, mate. We all do in the end. Disgusting. Is that your best defence? Go and get a cup of tea, 3 sugars. It'll do you well. You've got 2 security guards out now. You can give her a break or something. She might need it. A puff of the fake cigarettes, maybe. She didn't hear me.
So, in my eyes, this situation should have ended the minute they left the building. Their authority, basically, they got what they wanted. They wanted them to leave the building. The fact that they left the building, then she's going to come out and go aggressively towards somebody, means that she's the problem in this situation. They are no longer in the building. They're no longer causing the problems you were saying was causing by them being in the building. They're now out the building. Just because of outside of the building recording in the building doesn't mean that you have the right to come out and threaten unlawful violence, which unfortunately you did.
You're filming them because they've done something?
No.
Never met them in my life, officer.
So why are you filming?
Will I film you?
Huh?
You are a public servant.
You can film me if you
Yeah,
want, that's
it's just
fine,
the
I don't
interaction.
care.
And you have
the
got...
only thing is,
Yeah.
they're not very happy about you filming all the shops and that, that's all. It just puts people under
I'll let my,
a bit of duress.
I'll let him speak.
But anyway, they've said you're not allowed in the Pentagon anymore,
They can't
so
stop.
you're banned from the Pentagon. Well, there's no point to it, is there? It's just upsetting people. It's just upsetting people doing it.
Well, that belongs to you and me.
Sorry?
That shopping centre belongs to you and me.
No, it doesn't belong to us, does it?
Who owns it?
What's that? Why are you filming it though?
Because I can't.
Huh?
I can film it. Can I have the number?
Yeah, you can, yeah. There it is. I'm just asking you why you're filming, that's all.
PCSA.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, you've got to speak to them.
Well, yeah, I've spoken to them, that's why they've called me now.
Right. So I'm not doing anything wrong.
Well, no, but they just don't like you filming in the
They
centre,
don't
that's
care what
all.
they like.
That's not a very good attitude, is it?
It's not about what we like in life.
Because I'm allowed to.
Okay, fair enough then. But they don't want you in the centre anymore. Huh?
How are they going to know me?
Well, they're not going to let you in anymore.
But if I come down and check,
Fair enough.
how are they going to know that
They
it's
just
me
want
that I
me
was
to let
here
you
a
know
minute
that you're
ago?
not welcome in the centre.
If I come back a year later, are they going, and I'm walking there just to do some shopping, are they going to know who I am?
Well, they might do, mightn't they, if you
might
start
do.
filming again.
Well, they
They
can't.
just ban you like that anyway.
Yeah, not.
They have to go through the law.
They can only do it for theft or nuisance, can't they? He didn't have much to say. But he was a bit of a sausage, didn't say much.
And so I let the last bit of this video play out. I wanted to see what this PCSO had to say. The PCSO is very unprofessional. He's on about they don't want to ask him why he's recording. That's irrelevant. They've got what they wanted. They didn't want him in the centre anymore, which they are no longer in the centre. So the fact that these security still come out to cause them a problem because they stood outside recording. Secondly, unfortunately, you could be classed as a nuisance for recording. You know, the law's like, they'll throw anything at you, anything which is classed as a nuisance. Could be you stood there recording, winding up the security staff. It's all sort of classed as a nuisance. But that's another thing for another time on another video, which should be coming out very shortly. But let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this interaction. As always, like the video, it does open YouTube's algorithm, and I'll catch you on the next one.